welcome today to Story Untold. Could you maybe introduce yourself?
Hi, first of all, thank you for giving the opportunity to talk about the untold story, because untold stories are important for the people to understand each other. I grew up in Afghanistan, in the capital of Afghanistan. I belong to one of the ethnicities who were the biggest ethnicity about the fighting and resisting against the insecurity of the war, which is called Panjshir province. We belong to that ethnicities from that province, which they were in fight against the Russian, and also nowadays they are in fight against the Taliban. And I am also a victim from that war, which the insecurity and all these difficult times get me out from my own family, from the place that I had memories, from the place that I had. My family made every single thing that was making me more alive and energetic. And now in a totally different country with a totally different background. While I was 2 years old, in 1995, the Taliban came and took over Afghanistan. And for 5 years, I have seen, even though while I was a child, I have seen that what they have done and how was the life under the Taliban-regime. Though a child cannot understand it like 100%, but I was all the time afraid of being a woman in a country that women are not counting as a human, and they don't have right to breathe freely. How can I say that? Like, you are not your own. Like, you are counting as a thing. Like the family members, the father, the husband, the brother, and they are the decision maker of someone else's life, which is called a woman, and they are also like human, but they are not the owner of their own decisions in their life.
Did you feel this at the young age already?
Yeah, and on that time, I wished that I was not born as a girl, and I was wearing clothes like boys since I had 3 brothers which were older than me. I was playing with them. I was already changing in my career not as a girl, but as a boy, to be not hurted, to be not seen as a weak person. And that affected in me even till now, because sometimes like people are talking, you are not looking like a girl, and I'm saying, yeah, I knew it since I had to change to be alive. If you are a child and you see that you like the people who are like you, I mean the women don't have the control over their life and they are beating till death without any reason, then of course you would not like to be like them. You prefer to be like a man, and you prefer to be free as a human being. This is every human being desire, to be free, to be a decision maker of their own life. It was weird to be a kid and to be not able to go outside and play. Families wanted us to be safe, to be not traumatized, and they wanted us to stay home. And we lose this a lot. And on the time being that we were putting pressure and we wanted to accompany our family to go to market or to somewhere, then we were seeing that how they are treating people, how they are treating, especially women. They were not allowed to go outside alone at all, just like now. And if the Talib catch a single woman without a man, then they beat them till death. And that happened many times in front of my eyes. And that was how I recognized. And that was not only about the Talib, since the men of the families was beaten by the Taliban and they were traumatized and they were feeling powerless, and they didn't have any other place to empty their own self. Then they came with anger, and all that insecurity in their mind, and they wanted to show that, yeah, we also have power. Like they wanted to show that they are also alive. And that happened in the families, and the family was also kind of a victim. Like the women in the families were also not fine, since the man of the family was abused or insulted and outside, and they wanted to take it out kind of and inside, because they didn't have the power to change outside. So the, like the woman, not only in outside, but even in insides, were also insecure, and it was visible. No matter how old you are, you can feel, you can see that there is lack of love, there is lack of security, there is lack of equality.
And were you able to go to school?
No. On that time, there was no school for the girls at all. I remember there was some kind of courses which was only for Islamic subject. Like you were allowed to go to the mosques and to read the holy book, and that was also for the children under 7, not for the elder. Like the girls who were elder, they were not allowed. The boys was allowed to go to school. The boys was allowed to attend to university, and also to every single activities which was going in the society. But that was not fine for the boys too, because sometimes the feminist group are ignoring the pain that the boys and the men have faced too. But we are human, and we cannot escape from that every human being is feeling the pain equally without noticing over the gender. The boys who were able to go to school, they were beating them, they were insulting them, they were raping them. Like every single thing was happening in the neighborhood, but still people were happy that their boys are going to school.
And how did you experience it as a young child to not be able to go to school? Did you realize?
I was in love to learn and read, and I was trying it in home a lot. I remember we were not that like from the financially we are not that good, but we were still emotionally so rich, and we had each other. My mom and my father, both of them were illiterate. But
Sorry, both of them were?
Illiterate. They didn't went to school because of this insecurity and all the things which was happening on their own period. They were illiterate, but they knew the word of education. So they were trying to make us familiar with the poems and with dictate. They were trying to make us busy with these things. And if you are all and able to read and learned how to read the holy book, then you can learn the alphabets, and then you can do how you can how you learn it, like how you can read, and after reading then you can learn how you can write. So I start learning from there, and I was trying to write what my family members, like the poems that they were remembered from their own families, to write them down. And that was fun for me, and I was playing it like a game. I didn't feel the lack of education in my own family, because they were in love in it and they wanted to raise that in us. Okay. So it was a hard period that we didn't have it, that we didn't have the education system to go to school, but we were busy with it. After, I think, 3 years, then I started teaching to a group of the girls who were not able to read and write. Yeah, that helped me too. Like I was a kid, but I was in love to help. On that time being, girls was not allowed to go to outside at all. And I was a kid. And I was not noticing the danger. And, you know, I was brave. I was thinking, yeah, it's fine. If they catch us, it's fine. But my family was a lot in fear of happening something. But I was so happy to see that my family on that time give me courage, and they were proud that I did that for the family, though it was a risk for them and for me. While I grew up, while I was a bit younger, then the Taliban was gone. And it was in 2001 that the NATO and America came to Afghanistan, and the situation changed. It changed totally, and I was in love with studies, and I was doing with my studies. I went to school, I started, and on that time being, I was in love to get in touch with different people. And since we had the foreigners, which was from the NATO and Americans, they were coming for reconstruction in a lot of places. I was in love to meet them and to see that how they look like, because it was unknown for me, like a kid who didn't have any experience and not even I haven't seen the like how they look like. I was expecting something totally different, like aliens. So then I I went to school one day and I found it out that the group of the people are coming for the reconstruction, and then I saw that they look just like us, normal people, but they have one thing different for sure, that there's not inequality in them. Like men and women are coming together and they count them as a human being. And that's what made me to love the Europeans' ideas more interesting and to get more in touch with them. And I was going to them in every break of the class, and I was trying to talk with them, to understand them, to understand their culture and these things. And on the time being that we changed, like the Afghanistan situation changed and it get a bit better, then there was a lot of projects going in Afghanistan to promote women and to give them the power to let them know that what are their rights. But beside all this, they were missing something. Yeah, for sure, you can raise knowledge in a woman and give them this knowledge of equality in outside, but what if they go inside and they are not accepted equal? So that was which made a lot of projects to be filled. And like no matter how much America and European unions helped and had projects, but it was not working because they didn't knew that how they can invest and how they should take care of a group and a culture and a people. I think all the time the important thing in helping is to understand the country of the culture well to be able to help. But in the meantime, a woman got knowledge and they got power and they stand up for their own rights and they start fighting. Even right now that the Afghanistan situation is worse, the people who are standing the most for demonstrations are women, not men.
Around that time, did you ever think of leaving Afghanistan?
I was never ever thought about it to leave my country, because I was thinking the people who are living in a country are responsible to build the country. And I had hope till the time that I was alive, and till the time that my life is not in danger. I wanted to work for the country, because this is how it should be. I mean, if someone else is coming to help and they don't understand how to help, they're just wasting their time. But if you know which are the points which have pain and you can help it to get better, then that's gonna help. So before I had a lot of opportunities. I got a lot of scholarship offers. My friends, people that I knew them, they have invited, but I didn't want it to leave my country. And I wanted to stay with my family. I was in touch. I was so strongly attached with my family, and I was in touch with the society and with the girls like me. And the girls who were weaker, the girls who were stronger, and I was getting power from them. So if you know each other better in a society, then why you should leave each other only because of the things that you don't have? So you should just make it. That was my opinion on that time being. And I didn't want it to leave my country, never ever.
Can you explain to us the moment that you knew that you had to leave?
It's undescribable because I didn't decide it to. That was the 10th day of the time that Afghanistan was in the Taliban hand. And every single day I was receiving calls from the people around that I knew them in different countries that they wanted to help. And they were the people whom I work with them as a freelancer. And they were willing to help me. But every single call that I was receiving from them, I was refusing. And the only question that I asked them before refusing was, can I have my family with me? And then they were saying, like, you are an adult and you can live by your own. But I was thinking that, yeah, I'm an adult, but I need my family. I need to keep them secure. I don't want it to put them in danger. The only time that I thought that I'm going to think about it was the time being that there was a lot of news about getting disconnect from internet, and then I was not able to connect with the people around, and I was not able to help my family. So I was thinking that I will go to a third country, and from there I will help my family and the people that I knew. It just happened. Like, I was never ever thought about it, so I couldn't, yeah, I couldn't even say goodbye to my family members. And it was so hard to get decision. Like, I received a call at 10 o'clock of the night that I have to leave. And that was on the time being that women were not allowed to go outside. And I had to,
Do you need a break?
yeah, I think.
All right, are you still rolling? Okay.
It was 10 o'clock of the night that I received a call from the Netherlands government that they have my name on the list and I have to leave. I was working as a freelance journalist with a lot of other journalists around the world, and that made a connection. And yeah, they feel responsible because like they specify some conditions for the women who are like so highly under danger. One of them were to work with foreigners, that I had that already. The other two had an experience with the government that I had already. The other two work with and activities which is against them that I had already, and the other to not accept this inequality that I had already. So there was no chance to escape from all that condition. I was in all of them. I was fitting. So that put me in a big danger. It was on the time being, it was the 10th night of the Taliban-regime, that on that 10th night, I haven't slept even 10 minutes because from the time being that Afghanistan was in the Taliban hands, I feel insecure. And I was in shock, and I was listening every single news. I was writing for all freelancers. I was sharing the news, what is going on and what is happening around in provinces and all these things. And in the meantime, I was refusing a lot of offers because I didn't want to let my family alone, because I was the reason who put them in that danger. And there was a time being that I realized that after the call that I received from the Dutch government, then I realized that if I try to get out, then I might be able to help them from outside. Because if they disconnect the internet, then I may not be able to get in touch with anybody. So how can I help them? I got the decision to get out, and I was thinking how I can go alone. Then I took my brother, my fourth brother, which is younger than me, with me. I was 27 and he was 25. Yeah. And I was thinking that, yeah, how can I get out on the night that every single night I was hearing the screaming of the women that the Taliban were taking them to the police office, which was before police office, and now it was in the Taliban hand. And like they were the women who were just crossing somewhere, and they got them that because they were alone, and they were screaming, and they were asking them to let them to be free. And I was in shock already because of that, so I didn't dare to get out alone. And then I asked my brother to take his passport in a bag, and we should go together. And if I could get him in, I will ask from the Dutch armies to let him in with me, because it was not possible to get out alone. But the Netherlands, the Dutch government, while they called me, they said clearly that they are not responsible for anybody else if I get them with me. And I was asking them that it's not logical to ask a woman in this late night to go alone. And only 4 members of my family was awake, and we are 15. So I couldn't say goodbye to all of my family members either. And after leaving home, it was like a drama, and I was able to hear shooting, like the gunshots everywhere, and it was not easy to find car or anything. So I was coming with a woman with his man. Both of us were in the list of the Netherlands government. So we went together to a place, but the driver said that he cannot go further anymore. So we had to go by walk. And after the time that we got out of the car, we have seen that the group of the people who were trying to get closer to the airport. And there was a specific place that we had to go for fleeing from there to get into the airport. We were trying to get to there, but what was happening in our surrounding was heartbreaking, because a lot of people were screaming, a lot of people were crying, a lot of people were running. The airport surrounding was collapsed with thousand people, and in every single place you were not able to breathe easily, because everybody was trying to escape. And why shouldn't they escape? It was because on the first time, while Afghanistan was in the Taliban hands, they did every single crime that was even unimaginable, and the woman and men, everybody was knew that what is going to happen to them. So this is why they wanted to try every single way to get out from Afghanistan. And the time being that we were trying to get to the airport, the roads were collapsed because of this Taliban, and they had guns in their hands, and they were running to everybody, and they were shooting sometimes to the air, but sometimes in the ground, which that caused that a lot of people got injured. But sometimes they got wild and they shoot it to the people too. So I have seen 2 people who died in front of my eyes, and many people who got injured. And the injuries was trying to get to pull themselves in the side of the street, and they were like but the Taliban didn't care about anyone. And it was too hard to get into the airport, especially to the place that they wanted us to be. And that was near to a point that the Taliban was putting people in the lines, and on the other side there was a spot that we had to go, but we made it wrongly. Like, we choose another way. That was a mistake. That I was able to see a lot over there. That they didn't. From one side, they were kicking people, and they were saying, like, before going to outside, you should experience what it looks like to be in this regime. This was the word that they kicked every single person and said that. But luckily, before reaching to that point, we got the call that no, we have to walk around in another way. And we could manage to get into that dirty water. And we got to there, and there was also a lot of people who were screaming for help, and a lot of militaries which were above that river. Like, there was a dirty water in a
It was
bed.
under the ground?
It was kind of dry river, like semi-dry, not fully, but there was dirty water in it. Like, it was looking like somewhere is closed and the water is not flowing, not going fluently. So the water was not clean. Yeah, it was looking like this, that there are a ground, like a river and a wall, a high wall, which the militaries from different countries were on it. And every country had their own militaries, and they had their own lists, and they wanted to help people. And they were reading the names, or then the people were able to get help to get over that wall, and then they were able to go into the airport. They had their own lists. They were on a wall which was high from that river, and then they were recognizing the people by the lists, and then they were pulling them out from that dry water, and then they were getting them and letting them to go into the airport. That was the procedure. The story of like how the experience of how that hours I spent on that period of time, which was from 12 o'clock till 6 o'clock of the morning, is unforgettable. Like, sometimes even a smell can bring me directly back to that place. Sometimes a cry, sometimes a person's face, sometimes a darkness. Like, it is so close still. Like, I can feel the people's pain. I can feel the screamings. It was so painful. Like, you know that sometimes if you are in a normal situation, if a person pay you thousands or millions, you are not going to get in a dirty water. But while it's the matter of a life, then I even didn't notice the smell of that water, which I was standing on that for hours. And after some times, I found out that how hard it is to fight for your own life, for the rights that the God have gifted you for, just as a gift. I was injured badly. My niece was injured in and getting into that water, and also on the time being that I was facing people who was dying, and the time that the Taliban come against us, and he wanted to stop us. Like, it was like a horrible movie, I was not believing that I'm seeing this in my own eyes, and it was while you were a child and you have seen like these things, and then you have tried all your life to forget it, and once it comes against you, you get traumatized again. Like you cannot scream, you cannot, like I was crying the first 3 days while the Taliban camp took over. And I was, the only thing which was I remembering was the people whom they hanged while I was a child, and I was going to market with my family. Like it happened 2 times that, first of all, my family members didn't want to take us outside, but we were putting like, yeah, we wanted to go, but while they took us, and we were crossing a square, and there was people hanged on the square. So how you can stay and how you can think about life in a place that there are a group of the people on the power who are hanging a person for weeks, for months, in a square, to let other people see and to not do anything wrong again. It's so wild to live and to even try to be, you know, in a situation that can be, you know, a bit rest in it. So from the time being that they took over, I was sleepless till almost 5 months, if I count it in total. Because 10 days I was there, and while I get out from there and I came to Netherlands, that was also not easy, which has a huge story again. And I was trying to survive, to face, to accept, and to overcome from what I have seen and what I have dealt, what I have missed, which was, I think, only a person who is in love with life can go through all these difficulties and still wanted to live a life and to be a human being and to do something for humanity.
When did you arrive in the Netherlands?
That was on 26 August 2021. It's the goodness of some countries who helped some people to get them out from the war. But I believe that a single person is not complete. Like I left it behind, whole my family, and I could manage to get some of them out, but I lost one of them, and the Taliban killed them. If you're outside, like physically, you're not completely out. You're still in your own homeland, especially while you have people who were with you and who are in danger because of you, or who are even not because of you, who are in danger, and they can not live easily in a place. So I cannot be disrespectful for what the countries did for human beings, like for Afghans and for the people who were struggling in their life. But I think helping a group of the people to take them out of the countries are not the solution to help them, but helping them to get back to the track and live a life as a human being in their own country beside their family is something that they can do. Because it's not, I can say it easily, that it's not easy to be a refugee in another country and to start over again. Because there's also a lot to fight. Like at first, it's the human nature that you're not accepted as a first person in a country. Because there's all the time, even though while you don't see it, this exists under the skin of the countries, that yeah, you're a second person from a second country. No matter how much they try to ignore it, you can feel it sometimes in somewhere. I haven't seen yet even a single inequality in here. Not yet, thankfully, but I heard a lot from the people that it exists, and we can't ignore that. from the moment that they create these borders and they separate the human beings from each other, and they put the stamp of every country to every human being. Human beings are not unit anymore, and they don't think unit, no matter like how hard they are trying to become unit. Yeah, but if you have a background of war, like if they kick you out and you didn't choose it, you feel this more. If you choose to go to somewhere, it's not that hard because you're standing on behind your choices and you say, okay, I choose this and I'm going to pay for my choices. But if you had to, and it's not in your hand, then there's leaving your own country is meaningless.
As you are describing this, it sounds like both things are very painful. Living in a country that's in war and that's in so much pain and so much danger, which you have been experiencing your whole life. But on the other hand, now you're in the Netherlands and you feel incomplete, as you describe it, without your family. What does this do for you, for your identity? How does it influence that?
I think a refugee don't have identity. They have a name, like which is called refugee, and they are lost it because they are not acceptable, and they are like they cannot participate in their own country. But in a way, they are not counted as a whole in the other country also, because it's not only about the rules and laws of the countries, but it's about the communities, because there are existed people who are not accepting the refugees. I think being a refugee is kind of, for me, it was a different feeling that give you, like you are a whole, but still you have pieces which is lost, and you cannot complete it with working hard. You cannot complete it with being busy. You cannot complete it with higher education. It's a feeling that no matter how hard you are trying, you feel empty. You feel that you left pieces. And the pieces which other things which are you doing in the society might help to get a bit to fill that gap, but it's not fitting. I mean, it will all the time remain. The best thing that I think that can help us to get identity is to melt in the society, to share, to talk, to help back. And for me, creating this identity, a new identity for myself in a totally different country was so, I cannot say it easy, but it's not that hard too. So I did it smoothly because I was able to talk, I was able to express my feeling. And I think if we talk about this issue, if we participate in activities, if we share the stories, the things that we have been through, that's gonna help them, I mean, the societies, to understand us. Obviously, for the people who care about these issues, not the people who say like none of our business. We have that people too, that they say, okay, you have been through this, yeah, none of our business. We don't have to do anything with it. And that can help to make a new identity for yourself. And I did it on that way. For the first year, I was totally out of my own to help myself and to help people around too, because they needed help and I needed to be among the people, surrounded by the people, because I was a person who never ever spend 2 hours by myself alone. I raised in a family, and I was in a family. And if you take a person who is a social person and put it in a space totally alone, that can affect on them badly, and that can make them more depressed. So I knew that it is in the strategy of this is the culture of living individual in this European countries. But yeah, I got it out from this situation like this to get busy with the people around, to work with organizations, philanthropy, and to get myself busy with people, to know more people from the surrounding.
Can you explain in which ways you found people to connect with or to talk with? How did you start that process?
I was struggling with doing nothing. Like, I am not used with sitting and do nothing. I have problem with that, and I am raised like that to all the time be busy with something. So on the first night that I reached to the Amsterdam in the Netherlands, I was not able to sleep. And on the first night I sat with myself and I thought, I don't have more options. 2 options: sit, cry, and isolate yourself, or be active and get out and get busy with stuff. And I got the second one, and I said, okay, I'm going to help people, and that's going to help me. And I asked people who were working in the asylum seeking center. Well, it was an emergency camp first for 4 days. I asked them that what I can do for them, and I got participate, and I participated in every single activities which was going around. I think we were there for 6 days, and over there I found out that yeah, on that way I can help myself too. And it was for almost 5 months that we were after the time that we left that camp and we came to Nijmegen. On that 5 months, I got busy with a lot of activities which was going around and surrounding for the people who were in the camp, which was a lot of people. And I was actively participating in every single activities. And that helped me to make connections and to have friends and to connect with their friends. And that's how I create circles. And I thought, okay, now I'm going good, because if I was not doing these things, the only thing that I was able to do to sit and to cry, because nothing was in my hand. There was nothing that I could change for my family, and I was not able to sit and see them like that. I had to do something, and I believe in the circle in the life that what you do, you get back. So if you do good, you will receive good back. And I did that, and I am thankful from the God. Till now, I had everything that I had. Well, of course, we have these difficult times. And I'm sure that there's also a lot of lessons that I can learn from it. Like, I never ever thought that I would live even a day without my family. Now it's been 2 years. And it's a huge change in my life. And I knew myself now better, and I knew my strength, I knew my weakness, and I knew that how can I do it better? How can I help them better? How can I help others better? What is the consequences of not having them? What I can do to have them? And I think the people who are struggling to make a new identity, for them the most important thing is this: to be active. We have lost already a lot of options in our life as a refugee, and it's not easy to make a life again. If you are wishing to have good things, you have to give the good things first. It was on the hard nights that I was not able to sleep at all. But in the morning, while I was waking up with the same smile, I was looking to the people and I was saying like, good morning. And they were like, it was unbelievable for them that I was not asleep almost 5 months. But I was thinking, yeah, what if I cry and be not able to help and give them only worries that I am also a person just like you, a refugee, and I'm crying and I am not able to help you, not able to help myself, not able to do anything. Yeah, but I wanted to give them another view for the life. Yes, we are in this moment with all these difficulties in this place, and the future is uncertain, and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I think all of my life I have tried to have the enjoy, some moments for my enjoy to do it later, because now I have to make my career. Now I have to make happy my family. Now I have to, change this field. Now I have to do my master's. Now I have to do this or that. But then now while I'm here and I'm saying like, if you are able to do something in the moment, then you don't need to wait for tomorrow. You just do it. And it's what I learned while I was in the camp, while I didn't have even myself completely. So I learned a lot.
What are your dreams or hopes for the future?
For me, future is too far.
Yeah.
And I don't look more for too far. But for now, the happiness of my family, their safety, and to stand up on my own feet and to be able to make a career for myself. I think these are the basic traits, but this is also a wish for a person who lost everything. So it might not look like a wish for the Western people, but it is for the people who became refugee. And for me, the biggest wish is to see the equality in my country and to build a home back and to see the changes, not only in my own life, but in the life of the 100 or 1,000 girls who are looking for the equality in the country.
Thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thank you.